Hi everybody and welcome to Sit and Knit for a Bit Spring Podcast 2021 with Arne and Carlos, and we are as always your hosts
Arne and Carlos.
Yes we are, and we are here today, March 17th. Our weekly podcast becomes a daily podcast, so we will be on every single day from today and until March 28th 2021, so you have that to look forward to. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wondering, Arne, what's going to be the difference between this daily podcast and the regular podcast that we do on Wednesdays?
Well, the difference is that this is shorter. This is like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Every day.
So is that the only difference?
And we will reveal an egg in the end of every episode.
Okay.
So if people want to knit the eggs with us, they can do that. So this is different.
And maybe there will be a knitting tip every day as well. Maybe. It depends how many knitting tips we can come up with. We've got 12 days to go, so that's 12 knitting tips. It might be a little bit hard.
We'll see. Be hard, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll practice and we'll think about it every day. There will be stories, of course, as always. I mean, we are known for our stories. We are well known. I mean, we have become very well known, Arne, for making all these kind of mundane, boring days in lockdown sound super exciting.
Yeah, because
right?
Things happen, you see.
Yeah.
It's never boring.
Never boring. And that's exactly how this podcast started originally. It started as a daily quarantine podcast last year when we went into lockdown. And it became so popular that after lockdown, we decided to keep it. But then we couldn't do it on a daily basis.
No,
so we went
a bit too much.
Yeah, so we went over to doing it on a weekly basis, and that's when the podcast became Sit and Knit for a Bit with Arne and Carlos. But now that we actually, you know what, it's been a year since we...
Yeah, so that's... Actually, wasn't that also one of the reasons why we should do this? Mm-hmm. Just to mark that it's 1 year since we started the Sit and Knit for a Bit.
Yeah.
Or the quarantine.
Well, the quarantine podcast that became... Absolutely, yeah, that's exactly why we're here. We're here to commemorate and mark the occasion. I don't think that there's any, we don't necessarily have to celebrate COVID or the fact that that's why we ended up doing this podcast. But we thought it could be fun to just do a 2-week daily podcast to kind of go back into the good old days when we were under lockdown. Well, not very good days, but interesting.
It has changed. I think it has changed our lives in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Because we haven't been traveling for a long time. We traveled this summer because then it was open again in Norway, but we haven't been abroad for a long time.
No, that's true.
So I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, definitely our life changed, and also by doing these podcasts, Arne, people have gotten to know us so much better than when we, remember in the beginning we did the tutorials and they were supposed to be edited, and I kind of, looking back at them, they're great, but sometimes a little too perfect. Yeah. And now people actually have gotten to know us better and understand that we're not perfect in any way. We're just like everybody else. Yeah. Except we can come up with all these incredible, insane stories because, I don't know, I mean, why? Why do these things happen to us?
I think that is because since not much happened, you have to, like, every small thing is a big thing because...
That's true, yeah.
If nothing happens, at least you talk about the weather.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's always been our design philosophy as well. We are designers. We have been working as fashion designers for almost 20 years now. And our inspiration has always come from our daily lives. So we've always kind of looked at those elements that surround us, these things that are around us that people maybe don't value or they don't appreciate them. And then we build them up and make them something fabulous. Why are you laughing? Okay. What's happening?
Well, I try now to make this very perfect because we're actually indoors, but it looks like we're outdoors because every time you talk, those plants are moving.
Okay, I just saw that. Okay, yeah. So we've got talking plants.
It's like a wind in the room.
Yeah, that's because...
And the other one is going...
Yeah, well, that's because we're literally in a corner, and I've got something... my leg is close to this thing, and it makes Toril vibrate. Hello, Turin. How are you today? Oh, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Oh. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was actually quite funny.
This is like pollinating or something. They have to move. We have no bees
Yeah.
this time of the year, so maybe you do the job now.
Yeah, but it looks like they're having a lot of
They have
fun.
a lot of fun.
Anyway, there will be stories, as of course there will be stories these days, and hopefully, we'll start a story because these podcasts are going to be a little bit shorter, aren't they?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. So we're going to start the stories, and maybe we'll have to complete them next day. So, but there's
Yeah,
going to
because we don't. 5 minutes. It's short.
It's very short.
We can do it 6, 7 minutes.
6, 7
Just
minutes.
to finish the
yeah.
story.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
there will be stories, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun together. And then you can hang out with us, and you can knit eggs and knit whatever else you want
I'm
to
in
knit.
a good mood today. I don't know.
know.
I'm just constantly laughing because I'm tired.
You're in a great mood, yeah. I can see that.
This is like we start spring cleaning every time. This time of the year is
Yeah.
like when we start to clean the house and everywhere, and it's so tiring and
Yeah,
it looks so awful.
exactly.
It's so messy around us
Yeah.
right now. It's like
Yeah. I mean, this little frame here is spring cleaned, put it that way. But in order to get this clean, we had to move a lot of stuff from here
and we talk about a lot of
over there. So you're looking at the part of this room that
the
is
kind of
spring
clean
cleaned,
corner.
and the rest of the room is like a hurricane passed through here.
Yeah. And you said we'd look like. You said we should put on these jackets so we could look like those small gnomes.
Yes.
Is that the word?
Yeah. So spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. 12 days now. We're gonna be wearing our outfits. It's gonna be the same outfits. Let's call them uniforms. We decided to dress up as little Norwegian garden gnomes, and these little Norwegian garden gnomes that probably no other Norwegian has heard about except for us.
Oh, yeah.
They're little magical creatures, and they have these powers, and they can do like this, and then everything just cleans up.
You think that will happen?
I don't know. It depends on their mood.
It doesn't happen in this house.
No, probably not. And usually they go from house to house and they help the people in their houses with spring cleaning.
It's a nice thought. Actually.
It's a nice thought.
Let's hope it happens.
So we'll be wearing our garden gnome outfits for you to enjoy every day. And we're color coordinated as well, which I find is really cool. You're the green gnome.
I'm the green
and I'm the
you're
blue
the
gnome.
one.
And you know what's incredible? I mean, this is from our previous life when we traveled a lot. And in 2019, we bought these 2 jackets in 2 different vintage stores.
Yeah.
The fun thing about them is that they are identical.
And I actually didn't know that. I haven't seen it until we put them on this morning.
Yeah.
And they're the same.
They're exactly the same. However,
It's very strange.
where did we buy them? Where did we buy this one?
That one we found in a thrift store in Florence, in Italy, and this one came from Williamsburg in Brooklyn, New York. So they're nice.
Yeah. This one we bought in June.
Yeah.
It was in 2018, sorry.
2018.
June 2018 we bought this one, and this one we bought in October 2018. Italy, Florence, Brooklyn, New York, USA. Incredible that we could find that
from
we
the
would
same
find
producer.
same
is
producer.
Nordstrick? You have it on your... No, it's on your arm.
Oh, it's on my arm. Yeah, it's Nordstrick.
Nordstrick, made in
Norway. So very, very cool. And yeah, we found these to be the most color appropriate ones we had for spring.
Yeah.
Okay, Arne. So story time. But I want to do a recap this episode.
Things have happened last week.
Yeah, we're going to do a little recap.
It's been a fun week.
It was a fun week. We talked about it, so we are going to do a very long recap, just a quick one. So highlights last week were...
Well, I think it was when our neighbor got locked in the
our garbage palace.
By accident because of the strong wind and the lock that closed itself.
Yeah.
So I was laughing for 2 days.
Yeah, so was
3
I.
days.
Actually, Arne was laughing because he was the one talking to our neighbor on the phone after she managed to break out of there. And and Arne was laughing so much, and so he was laughing at her, and I was laughing because I thought Arne's laugh. I always love it when you laugh. It's so funny, and I was laughing at your laugh, so it was just so funny.
But that was the highlight.
Yeah, we have spoken with her since.
Yeah.
She's okay.
She's happy.
She was not traumatized in any way.
She's looking for a new lock.
Yeah, she feels very guilty for breaking the lock, so she's looking for a new lock for us. And she, you know what's ironic about the whole thing? The irony of it all is that she used to work for, she was a buyer for this chain of hardware stores. So
she will come with a really good.
She will probably find a really good, lock mechanism and she gets a discount too. Yeah. But it's ironic that she was supposed to be the one getting the lock at a discount and then complained to us. We got the lock and we paid full price. And look at what happened. So I think it's kind of karma somehow. And Grete, in case you're watching this, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. Yeah. It was really funny.
And then I went bananas. I was shopping. So what's for dinner today?
Well, you have a choice: fish or crab. What do you want?
Crab.
Yeah. So the other highlight last week was I was busy making my very typical traditional Swedish meatballs.
Not so typical traditional because they were vegan.
Well, they've got a twist. They're vegan, yes.
It's Swedish meatballs with a twist.
Yeah. So
and they were so good. But you can't have that now for a long, long time because I heard that the crab can actually be bad if it's too long in the freezer.
Yeah. So we're eating crab as much as we can.
I don't know if that's true, but...
Yeah. So anyway, I was so busy. I had so many things going on the stove. I had the meatballs going on. I had the mashed potatoes going on. I had the sauce going on. I had the vegetables that I had to steam. And I was, doing this. So I made Arne go buy the fish. And lesson learned. He is a real shopper.
I didn't go far because the fish car. The car is from a car, and they parked just outside a house, and then they were knocking on the door, and he says like, Arne, you have to go and open the door, and I went out, and it was the fish car, and I came in and I asked Carl, what do you want? And he said, get whatever you like.
Except I wanted breiflab, and I blacked out last week, and I looked it up, and it came up as angler fish, but breiflab is actually monkfish, which is my favorite.
You can't believe everything you Google. That's why you need to have that lexicon. Have it in a book.
Yeah, it's always better in a book. Anyway, he bought us enough fish and crab to last us for 6 months, so that's what we're having every day.
And the irony was that you had actually bought crab in the grocery store, those shells with crab meat, and the dish for the day after was actually crab.
And I also bought shrimps.
And shrimps. So yesterday we had shrimps.
Yes.
Tonight we're gonna have monkfish,
yes.
I guess.
And
because
tomorrow,
I saw you took out from the fridge.
And tomorrow we're gonna have crab. So yeah, that's our life. So so we're becoming pescatarians now, I guess. That's the right term for it. So
that was the highlights, I think.
Very eventful week. Then we had our filming. Did we do that before? Oh, we did that before. Yeah, we had our filming with Anna and Eric.
That was the same time, wasn't it?
That was exactly the same day when Grete, our neighbor, got locked out.
Yeah, because that day drove by and she was screaming and they didn't hear.
And then they left and everything became quiet again. So we've had some peaceful days.
Well, I won't call it not that peaceful because
of all the cleaning.
The cleaning is not.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of things to get in order. We have the greenhouse. The greenhouse is a disaster. Yeah. We wanted to film in there, but then we remembered that our greenhouse is wrapped in bubble wrap because Arne came up with this brilliant idea last year. Let's wrap the whole greenhouse with bubble wrap because then we can start growing things there quicker. And have you?
I'm starting now.
Yeah. So soon. Yeah. So not quite quicker.
Well, the problem is this year we haven't traveled abroad. Like last year we were away for 78 days or something, and now we're not going anywhere. So it's always like
tomorrow,
and then when the autumn came, we actually just stuffed the greenhouse with stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of throwing it away. Some things we can't throw away. So it's very messy and
then we were in there for a little while yesterday.
Oh, that was warm.
And Helmer was like eating everything that was on the floor, so we had to kick him out. Because there's there's bricks on the floor of our greenhouse and then there's earth so that when you water it just goes down into the into nature, and there's a lot of old plants there. Probably they have fertilizer that he loves. I don't know what it was.
Or
but-
probably maybe there was like some soil with bokashi in it, which they shouldn't eat actually. But
Well, that's Freya. She's the expert in that. Anyway, so we couldn't do it in the greenhouse, and now we have to clean it and tidy it up.
and then we had to put things away from these corners, and now this is messy. And we
Yeah.
have a big spring clean this year actually.
Yeah, I think that we are going to be taking trips to the studio that we're still renovating. I think that everything here that I'm seeing from this side, everything has to go. Everything
I think
has
you have to
go.
organize all the yarn first, and I was thinking like, how I clean, it takes forever. So I did put up the knitting machine because I was thinking maybe I should just make sweaters quick.
Yeah, well, swatches as well for rowing.
And
huh?
swatches,
Yeah.
but then the yarn was not, it was too dry for the machine, it didn't work. So but we have a lot of wool, which is
Yeah.
leftovers. If it doesn't go into the I-cord, if it's too much, I think we should do sweaters.
Definitely, yeah. Anyway,
Produce more UFOs.
Arne, I am, since I am now officially a little Norwegian garden gnome with magical powers,
Yeah.
I have decided that everything in this room has to go into the studio, and then we're going to clean this room, and then we're going to bring in things that we need for our work. Now, the good thing is that we're actually working parallel to doing the podcast. We're working on some delivery of designs for the next Rowan magazine that is going to be number 71, which is going to be spring 2022. We're doing that right now. And yeah, once we finish that, we're going to be, and once we finish the podcast, we're going to take a couple of weeks of holiday because we need it. Oh, and in between that holiday, we're also doing a photo shoot here in Norway.
I think we need a holiday.
We do, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But the problem with all the cleaning is that I find all the UFOs lying around. So I found a lot of embroidery pieces that some are our design and some are all the things we find in the thrift store.
Yeah, that too.
I feel like we have to finish something. Maybe that's what we should do for a holiday, because we can't go anywhere. Or maybe we go down to our guest house.
Well, that's an idea to move out. We're going to move out of the house because the house is eating us alive.
But
with all this stuff.
we can't move out because we don't have a kitchen and stuff. But we can spend the night there. We can just
in a cabin, yeah.
Yeah, we can pack our bags. We can go and buy takeaway.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
Bring our books.
Well, no, we can't buy takeaway because remember the crab and the fish in the freezer.
But you can do the crab and the fish the day before, and then we just...
Yeah, but we gotta eat it before it spoils because it can't stay in the freezer for like a year. It needs to kind of
So let's eat out then.
Yeah.
We go to the house and eat.
I think they agree. You see?
Yeah, they're moving.
They say you gotta eat everything in the freezer before you go get new stuff. So we're stuck with that. But yeah, definitely a big spring clean. So we definitely need those gnome superpowers that we have.
Yeah, but I was mentioning like the big spring clean.
Yeah.
Because we have a problem with the fireplace. I think we mentioned it once. And
oh yeah.
It's something happened because the foundation was not correctly made or something. So we had it for 10 years.
Yeah, and now we have to.
And we have to.
Open up the floors, rebuild the fireplace.
And take the floor out and
take the
redo
fireplace
the
out.
whole floor. With concrete. We're gonna do concrete now because nothing's gonna move. That's a big spring clean.
And I guess everybody who has a house, who owns a house, knows that it's like a forever work in progress. You're always worrying about what's the next thing that's going to go, and then that every 15 years is going to be like a massive thing.
Yeah, and then see people say like, oh, if you buy an old house, there's always work to do. But I think that even if you have a newer house,
well, the newer house will become old eventually. I mean, once a house is already 15, 20 years, there's already maintenance to be done. They don't last forever unless you maintain them. So yeah,
there's always something.
There's always something.
If you don't want that problem, you should live in a tent.
Yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be like there's gonna be a lot of cleaning here, and then the fireplace work, which is gonna be massive.
Imagine
I think
us living in a tent.
Oh no, I need my creature comforts. I'm in that age where I
you
really
need to have one tent for the stash and one.
Oh yeah, that would be terrible.
One for the books.
Yeah, that would be too much.
Too many tents.
No tents. No, thank you. Anyway, and when it comes to this spring cleaning, I think we're gonna have to do it in like baby steps, like small.
It's
steps.
always baby steps, Carlos, because.
What did your grandmother call it? She called it something completely different.
Oh no, that's not. That's when she talked about the light, because now the days are getting longer.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So it's not those baby
No,
steps.
she talked. Now we're digressing. That's fine.
That's
and
fine.
she said that now it's.
Wow,
we're
Arne,
almost,
well, hang on. You used a really big word there.
I did.
Your English is
because I heard it so many times from you, because I always do that. Digressing.
digressing, but it's the same.
Digressing.
But your English is getting really good. A lot of people comment that.
I speak like it's my mother tongue.
Yeah. And
Not really.
And you sound like everybody's Uncle Sven as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
No, but
You were
she said,
digressing.
now we're going back to summertime, and then the days will be longer. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
And when I grew up, at home they always said that the days was longer by one chicken step.
A chicken step.
Or a hen.
Yeah. I love that.
Because you could see in the horizon the mountain, and you saw the sun. So the length where the sunset was one chicken step longer each day.
But that's kind of like a baby step, isn't it?
It's a little bit short. Yeah, maybe. It depends on the chicken. It's a big chicken.
A chicken step is a little shorter than a baby step. But I love the idea that, especially here in Scandinavia, or if you live in northern Canada or in Alaska, or even in northern USA, you know, when the days get longer and longer and you notice it, and the difference from one day to the next is actually quite small, but you still, they agree with me, don't you? Yeah, look, they're nodding.
Yeah. Okay, always.
You know, it's the first time we have an audience when we do this.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to Toril and the other ones.
Toril and, the other girls.
Petunia.
Toril and Petunia.
It's not a petunia, but
no, definitely
it's a nice
not.
name.
It's an, what is it? Is it a narcissus?
Narcissus, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, those
Let's call it petunia. I like that name.
Yeah, petunia and Turid.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, those baby steps or chicken step are really nice. You notice them very quickly, or you notice them every day, and those steps still become quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you thought about like where we live? In the summer, the sun is like way over there.
Yeah.
And then it's like very slow, like the sun. That's like a chicken step. But and back there, it's also like a chicken step. But when it comes to the space between, it's more like a kangaroo.
Yeah,
because the sun goes dum dum,
and
then
start
it's small again.
They start like chicken steps,
and
then it becomes
like
a
a
big
rabbit
kangaroo. Now all this chicken talking is making me hungry for eggs. And not necessary to eat them.
No.
But I feel that we need to. I think there's an Easter egg or a spring egg hunt.
Because I guess we talked for 5 minutes now.
Yeah, well, there's an egg hidden somewhere, and we gotta find it. Well, I hid it.
And you were looking up in the air behind me.
Sorry.
Oh, there's something in the nest. I don't have to.
And you're not getting up because you are wearing long johns?
Yeah, I'm wearing my long johns. I can't stand up.
Yeah, we're dressed for Zoom meetings today as well.
At least I'm wearing something.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I feel an egg coming up, and you did find it. And there it is.
And we call this the new life, because it's this is what it's all about now, because the snow is melting and there's a new beginning here, and we're
gonna clean the house, make everything look fabulous, and we're thinking of those little chicken steps. So every day is gonna be a brighter and better day. I mean, we're moving towards something new, I hope.
We are.
Maybe we are starting, this is the beginning of the end of the terrible pandemic.
The end of the pandemic.
Well, the beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end, and we will have a cleaner studio, and we will have a new floor in the.
And we're moving to lighter days.
And lighter and longer days.
So new life, but also chicken steps, because it's going slowly. As you can see, the chicken is grounded. She's on the ground and she's walking. You can also see that. Look at her legs. She's walking. And she's taking little chicken steps towards better times, which is what we feel it's all about right now. Optimism, joy, and hope that we will soon be together with all of you again, and that we will soon be able to hug other people again, because I really miss that.
Yeah, it's strange.
It is, yes.
Can't even shake people's hand.
You can't do anything. I do either this, I put my hand on my heart, or I do the namaste. I love that. I love this
I got a
one.
hug.
I know, you freaked out.
I freaked out.
Yeah.
I think the person who did it also freaked out a little bit.
Yeah, she kind of forgot that she...
And also last autumn, I got a handshake. You see, I can remember I got one handshake and I got one hug.
In the last year.
Yeah, and the handshake was also a little bit confusing.
yeah.
Suddenly this person just grabbed my hand and I was like freaking, or froze in a way. It's so strange.
It is, yeah.
You think life will go back to normal?
Life will go back to normal. We've had pandemics in the world many, many times, and we have come out of all of them.
But you know, the good thing is that we haven't had a cold this winter.
That's fantastic, I know.
The only
thing we had was COVID, and after that, nothing.
Nothing. And normally I have a sore throat in the winter, so I have to have all these pastil thing. And I heard on the radio.
Throat lozenges.
I heard on the radio now that the sales has gone down a lot.
Yeah.
Because people don't get a cold anymore.
Yeah.
My thing is that sometimes, but that's because the dust in the
in this particular room where we are at.
Especially in this room.
Yeah, the messy room.
And
Anyway,
we're not going to turn the camera and show you because
we're
it's
not.
awful. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, here you go. This is egg number 1, new life, or call it chicken steps as well. New life, new hope, and we're moving towards better times. And that's what we want to dedicate today's egg. Yeah. We also want to offer you a little tip of the day.
Yeah, so you come with, what's your tip? Knitting tip.
So I'm going to do a little knitting tip of the day for all of you that are going to be joining us on the knit along, and for all of you who are new to double pointed needles and would like to try them. My tip of the day is think about the needle you select in terms of the project you're doing. Now, when you're going to do an egg, it means you're going to cast on very few stitches, and you're going to have those stitches on 4 needles. So my tip is go for something light and something that is non-slippery. The most perfect needle to cast on little projects, to knit on the round, double pointed needles, are bamboo needles. So that's my tip of the day. Think about your choice when you select your needle. If you go for metal needles, if you go for carbon needles, and if you are a loose knitter, they will be very fiddly and very slippery.
They slide off the stitches.
But a bamboo needle will be light and non-slippery. So that is something to think about.
Yeah.
And of course, we will bring you new tips again tomorrow and every single day, as long as we can think about a tip.
Yeah.
And once we can't think about one, we'll just have to make one up.
And maybe if the tip is too late for this ball, you can use it on you can use it on the next egg.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to finish up because our 5 minutes are up. And I'm going to finish up by just reminding everybody that, Arne, we have a competition as well.
We have a competition, and this time we're going to do it randomly, because in Christmas it was really hard because there were so many nice pictures, so it's almost impossible to pick.
Yeah, and we're supposed to spend our time cleaning, not selecting winners.
No, we're going to pick a random winner, and the winner will have something in the post.
Yeah, so this is the drill. I'm sure you know it already. You see they're all shaking their heads.
Yeah,
so
even the plants.
Even the plants know the drill. The drill is as follows. If you're knitting, if you're participating in the knit along together with us, you're eligible to enter the competition. What you do is you post images of your eggs from the knit along on either Instagram or Facebook, and you hashtag them with the following hashtags: ARNE CARLOS and hashtag sit and knit for a bit. Use those 2 hashtags and you're going to be eligible to enter the competition. The more images you post, the more entries you get. It's like a lottery. And then in the end of the podcast, so on March 28th, we're going to close the podcast for this time. And then on March 31, we will be back to announce one winner. And that one winner will receive a big surprise that we will also reveal on March 31. Yeah. So you can all start kind of guessing what the surprise can be. And maybe put that down in the comments, and maybe you'll You guessed right, or not. If you're not participating in the knit along and you want to do it, it's not too late. All you need to do is go to arnecarlos.com, select the shop, and you will find the pattern for a dozen knitted eggs there, and you can purchase it. And you can be part of the knit along. If you don't want to buy the pattern or you want to knit eggs from our Easter book, that's okay as well. But only people knitting from the knit along are eligible for our competition. That's the way it is. Our rules. So if you want to read more, go to arnecarlos.com, visit the blog. You will have all the competition rules there. Just select today's episode, which is called New Life, and you can read everything there about the competition.
Yes.
So Arne, we've got one final thing to do before we finish.
Formalities.
Yes, and we decided to do them very quickly.
Yeah, so
just three things.
I can try. So first, engage with us, and the second one is turn on your notifications
and the third one,
subscribe.
There you go.
No, that's the opposite way. You have to subscribe, and then you can turn on your notifications.
And then engage with us by commenting and liking our videos. So we will be back tomorrow. We were gonna pick up from where we left today. Same time, same place. If we remember, yeah. Turi and Petunia are gonna be back with us as well.
Petunia,
as well as
which
all
is not a Petunia, but still.
Yeah, as well as all our other friends. And maybe Arne will be more successful than I was in hiding an egg. We'll see about that.
Maybe I don't hide it. There's not many places.
Oh, come on. We can
then you
always
have to put on a nice trouser.
We can always hide an egg.
Okay,
somewhere.
I can hide the egg.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We are delighted that you're here, and we can't wait until tomorrow comes. See you soon.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.